Timmy, today on the podcast, we'll talk Wilder Fury. The best way to handle marketing when you're a small level league, the Professional Fight League, and the NFL Combine starts this week.
Now.
Yeah, so
what are we starting
that's
with
where
first?
we are. Wilder Fury.
Okay.
You didn't watch
I
the
did not.
fight.
I did not. However, when was the last time we bought a boxing match?
Mayweather McGregor.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah.
For
Definitely
sure.
did that one. Outside of like the McGregor one though, it had probably Mayweather at some point. It's been a while. That's what I'm getting at. But this one almost got me to buy it.
Yeah.
Almost.
We discussed, but we weren't there.
Yeah.
I happened to watch it legally.
It's breaking the podcast.
I will say we always legally buy UFC fights.
Yes, we do.
And we watched this boxing where I watched it. I found somewhere to watch it at, and the fight was great, exciting.
And you watched the two leading up to it, right?
Yeah. So here's where I don't love boxing. Boxing is like you've got the biggest. How they're calling it the biggest fight in 18 years since Tyson Holyfield 2. Or I don't know if it was 1 or 2. Tyson Holyfield. And I didn't know one other person on the card.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't recognize any names. I literally didn't hear another name on the card. And I heard John Anik, who's a UFC analyst, talking about it on his podcast. And they don't even normally talk about boxing. But he said, I used to love boxing. And that's how, in college, we would get every damn fight.
Yep.
And he goes, we're watching the I don't even think they call it the co-main featured bout. It was either the second or third one, and we're not focusing on that. It was a 126 pound championship fight. We're not even watching that. They're there, but they're going back mid fight to
showing
see
the
hands,
in the back.
the hands getting wrapped on Fury, and like it's just there was no focus on it. There's no build up to the other people on the card, so you've got all these friggin' eyeballs, and nobody's getting that rub that gets you to the next level of like, oh my God, did you see person X on the card? You don't get that.
Yeah.
So I didn't love that part of it. It also is so slow. It ends late. Mm-hmm. So we're in Los Angeles. So time wise, it's not that big of a deal.
And it was only 7 rounds too, so it could have gone 5 more.
Yeah. But if you're in the East Coast and it's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
For us, we wouldn't be doing that shit.
Not all
with
of them, no.
young kids.
That's for sure.
So it's slow, but it's also, after the second to last fight, they didn't call it a co-main. After the second last fight, they go back to the fighters. We get long ass entrances, which I thought they were both like decent. Fury comes out or not Fury. Wilder comes out in the suit that now, well, we knew at the time looked really cool. It was an ode to Black History Month. Uh-huh. He's come out since losing the fight and said it weighed 40 pounds, and that he thinks that has a lot to do with why he lost the fight. You fucking dumbass.
Yeah, you can't say that.
I hope he doesn't hear that I called him a fucking dumbass. But that's so dumb.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't try it on till that night.
Why?
Or the night before trying it. I just didn't realize that it was 40 pounds. And here's the problem with all of that is, and this is what I was getting at too, is you have slow ass entrance from Fury, slow ass entrance from Wilder. You got the UK national anthem. You got the US national anthem. Then they're doing reads for the fight. It was like, I don't know the exact amount of time, but it was definitely at least 20 minutes between fight and then next fight.
Yeah.
And it's already late. It was just so slow and not. They didn't, how UFC, it's like they might go to a desk and have a conversation before the main event or whatever. But usually it's like fight's over, continue this momentum. You're at like a high in the production. Let's go on to the next fight. Keep this rolling. Keep the excitement rolling.
Right.
Wasn't that?
Yeah, I noticed that during the Pacquiao thing when we were filming too. It's boxing is much slower.
And that was our first fight we'd ever been to. First boxing fight.
match that we'd ever been to.
And it was big. It was
it's a slower performance, I guess, for overall.
Yeah. And the same thing with that one. I knew 2 names on the card before we had gotten there. And then, you get to know people a little bit once you're in the arena.
Once we're eating dinner with Manny Pacquiao too. We get to know some people.
That was interesting. I don't know if we talked about that on here. We probably did.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, huge team, just like a different Totally different vibe than anything we're used to.
Yeah.
Especially doing a lot of MMA video and being around those people. It's totally different.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a con, or maybe it's probably the same.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Speaking of which, though, you know what? Now that I think
Go
about it,
ahead.
that Manny Pacquiao, why didn't they? They should have been filming something themselves, like HBO or whatever it was on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you know what the Wilder Fury UFC countdown 24/7
what do they
video?
call that?
Do you know what it was?
Exactly.
You don't know what it was.
Yeah.
You were looking for the shit. You were
It's
following the
HBO,
shit.
right?
They didn't have anything.
They had nothing.
I couldn't find anything. If they
Really?
did, I don't know who even owned it. It was on
Yeah.
ESPN Plus, the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything. I looked.
Yeah.
I looked through ESPN. I looked through both guys' social medias.
Yeah.
I looked through Fox. I couldn't find anything. This is on YouTube and stuff.
It's interesting. The only thing that I
No
saw
countdowns.
was
No hype show.
a buddy of mine, the one that's at ESPN, had filmed with Wilder, I don't know, 6-7 years ago.
Okay.
And he had posted this because he was hype about the fight. But
Yeah.
he's like, I filmed this before anyone knew who Wilder was. But
Oh.
that wasn't like a lead up.
No.
though.
They're not. They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I think. I know it was co-promoted and there was a whole thing there. So I wonder if that's part of why
It's stupid,
nobody
though.
had the rights to do it.
Yeah, it's stupid.
If there was something, I didn't see it, and I talked to a handful of boxing people. Like one of the guys I used to coach at Ashland. He's in boxing right now, and he didn't say anything about it either. Because we were talking about it, and he didn't say anything. So there might have been, but for somebody looking for it, I didn't find it.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So that was. But the fight itself was fun, exciting. I thought Fury was going to win. He did win.
You thought
whatever
he was
that
going to
means.
win?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did text that.
We were texting with our buddy
Yeah.
Tay, and I said I like Fury just because I think he's a better boxer, and I think he'll stay away from some hard punches. And Wilder had weighed an extra 15 pounds.
Yeah.
I wasn't as concerned with Fury's 15 because he's a big dude anyway.
Yeah.
But Wilder.
Did he cut to get down to 273?
They don't cut. There's no limit in boxing.
There's no.
So
none?
no, you're not.
Okay.
He had a shirt on the scale.
Yeah, and his shoes. I noticed that, but I didn't know if that was just.
So we're in a room in my place. You can hear we're cooking. My lady Liv was supposed to be watching the food. Do you think she's watching it or
I
no?
don't know. Let's just see how far this goes.
Yeah. You can hear the beeps there.
All of a sudden, it'd be like us
Burp,
running
burp,
out on
burp.
fire.
I'm also waiting on a call. So we're on a tight schedule here. So it's
Very tight.
It's about noon on Tuesday. As soon as we're done, you guys will eat lunch. We'll all eat lunch. I'll take my fam to the airport. Come back. I got a meeting at 2:30 in Santa Monica with a guy about doing some video stuff. Then I go to the airport tonight to fly to Norfolk, Virginia to film with Megan Anderson again for continued series for that stuff. And Timmy's here.
And I'm here.
What are you going to be doing while I'm gone?
Well, I'll be up in Santa Cruz anyways.
Oh, you'll be in Santa Cruz. Yeah. I'll just FaceTime and email you, man.
Yeah. What's next?
The PFL. So I told you I listen to this podcast, great podcast with Front Office Sports called Office Hours.
Okay.
I don't know why that was hard to say. We talk a lot about Front Office Sports because I think they do a great job on here. A great job on social about talking about money stuff that's involved with sports. So they had on chairman and co-founder Don Davis of the PFL. If you're not familiar with the PFL, I believe this will be the third or fourth season, and they are. So there's clearly the UFC, and then we're in MMA and we know the sport pretty well. Then there's like Bellator, which is kind of like your 1Bs. They have some very high level guys. And guys that could definitely be champs in the UFC, guys and gals, and some that have been champs. And then, but the depth is nowhere near it. Mm-hmm. Same thing with one championship, which is big in Asia. I actually get more views than the UFC does. But same thing. High at the top, depth's not there. PFL is different in the fact that they have what they do. They have a season, so they have a regular season starting in May, I believe, this year. You do kind of a round robin, then you go playoff style, and then you have from playoffs you have a championship. The winner wins $1 million, and they do it right on New Year's Eve. It's cool, it's fun, it's different. That's their like differentiating proposal is like, hey, we're a season. You're used to watching seasons here in the U.S. or globally even. Whether it's soccer, football, basketball, baseball, we're used to the season flow and process, and that was their big thing. So I didn't know anything about this guy, and this guy actually wasn't an MMA guy. He had seen the UFC get bought out for $4.2 billion 5 years ago, whenever that was. And he was reading the article, and these are some numbers that he had come up with, and I thought this was interesting. He said they had in that article they said there was 300 million fans worldwide, but the UFC only put on 30 events a year at that time. And he said there's just a market there's an opportunity. There's not the demand is not
being met.
The demand is not being met. Correct. Exactly. Easy for me to say. So I liked where he was with that. Some other things I thought were interesting. He said they do 25% of what the UFC audience does. Viewership wise, which I was actually impressed with. Now the first season they were on NBC Sports, and now they were on ESPN this last year. And again, I don't remember if it's third or fourth year, but on ESPN2 for most of the events, ESPN Plus or ESPN2.
Right.
They haven't had the name value. They've got Kayla Harrison, who's a judo Olympic champion.
Now they got Rory,
who's a former Bellator champ and a UFC top level guy.
I think he fight for the title, didn't he? Or no?
I don't know. He didn't win the title.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that was a title fight.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Fact check this.
You're
check
in Norfolk already,
people.
I think.
Yeah. So, where was I going with that, Timmy?
25% of UFC viewership.
25% of the UFC audience, and the UFC they say spends $150 million in marketing. How much do you think PFL spends on a marketing budget?
25%.
$0.
Oh, really?
$0 is what they said. I don't know what that means. Obviously, there's promo stuff through ESPN, so that budget must just be worked into it. Or since ESPN is a partner with them, that's part of it. But I think that's pretty impressive, knowing that they don't spend anything, and they're still at 25%.
What is it? Did he go into detail of what UFC spends that $150 million on?
Did not. I don't know if he knows even. Yeah. That wasn't part of what they're talking about. But a big thing that he talked about was people want to know why they're fighting, and I think that's our real opportunity is to go to PFL and say, hey, you want to talk about why these people are fighting and their stories, but they don't really talk. They don't really do that.
No. And I remember I talked to them a year and a half ago, and their video guy is he was on the call and he was like won all these awards. I don't really know. Yeah. But it was like that's why he was part of the team to tell those stories and create those videos, but I haven't really seen them.
Well, they do stuff when you're watching the in-show broadcast. They'll do, but there's no follow along. There's no that I've seen. And again, I look for this shit. So it's what I think if you're the PFLs, your WNBA, and I know you reached out to the commission last week, and I had sent her a DM on Instagram as well, is I think they need to invest money into their players or athletes' social. So why wouldn't they, if they're going to spend marketing dollars, why not put those marketing dollars into a player or athlete? Why not use that to showcase them? They're the face of your sport. Why not make sure they have good quality content? I wonder if they do any sort of consulting or, hey, here's how you should run your social media. Which
PFL or WNBA?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would imagine you'd want to do that.
I would imagine you want it. I would imagine they don't.
I would imagine they don't, and I would imagine you want to, because then you teach them how to do it. You grow their audience, which grows your audience, and you're building all this stuff from the bottom up.
Which is like merchandise, ticket sales.
All of that. Bam, 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 bam.
Revenue.
Eyeballs, which leads to more sales dollars and all that stuff. But I don't know how to do that. But I think there's an opportunity for us to reach out to them and say, hey, here's some ideas specifically. And I've talked to Sandu, who runs their social.
Yeah.
And I think we could probably talk to him and pitch some ideas. He can always say, no, we don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, cool, let's do it. And I wonder if they would be more apt to do something outside with people like us.
Why so? What do you mean?
Because...
more amped to do it?
Yeah. Because, sometimes I've hired Tim Curran, works for me, and he's doing XXX for X number of dollars. Now I have to pay him more to send him out. So now we're paying our video guy more than we want to pay our video guy per year. That kind of thing,
Yeah.
Or if we come to them with a specific idea, they may just be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Sometimes the bandwidth just isn't there for a lot of these places.
Yeah.
Okay, and you come with them with a specific idea and all right, go ahead, run with it.
Yep. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll put together some stuff this week.
Yeah.
What else? This was one other thing I'd like to see. They do some cool things. So the season's
PFL,
different.
you're talking about?
Yeah. Season's different. They do some different. They have in the cage. I forget how we worded this, but they have a specific cage setup where they gauge how fast the punch is going.
Yeah.
And cool things like that. They also do a referee cam.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're in the cage with them almost. Like it's rumbling. It's not a quality video. It's they have a GoPro, whatever it is, and it's set up differently. So it's cool. It's different. But I'd like to see them do more XFL type access.
Yeah.
So it's maybe it's talking to the corner in between rounds or things like that. I know UFC tested that once.
Did they?
Yeah. Remember Megan O'Leary was microphone in between? Were you watching that with me? Maybe it was me and Liv. So. Yeah. But it was. I would like to see more access. I think that's something they could do.
They're the ones that do it too. Yeah, just like XFL.
Yeah,
it was like the trial for
definitely.
NFL.
Why not do it? Yeah. Why not get in there and get us a little bit more that we're not able to see? Maybe they're about to come out and we're talking to the coach and he says something or just like different points where we can get an idea. Maybe it's right after the fight you talk to one of the coaches. Sometimes it's different when you're getting punched in the face. You don't want to talk to an athlete right after the fight if they lost.
Yeah.
But
or maybe wife, grandma. I'm thinking cowboy. Yeah. As long as they're winning, yeah.
Yeah, those are different. Those would be cool. But different kinds of moments and access, I think they could easily do. That was the last thing I was going to say about them. PFL. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Okay.
Last but not least, where are we at here, Timmy? I think we're at like 20 minutes. Almost 20, not quite.
Okay.
Is the NFL Combine starts this week. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to
it started yesterday, right?
Yes.
Did you catch anything?
I did not, but I got my eye on it for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
One, it's kind of just interesting to follow, like see what matters and what doesn't matter.
Yep. For
players, athletes, how fast they run, how big their hand is. I'll read a tweet here in a second. And like how big their hands are.
Yeah. Poor Joey's going to retire.
So this was the projected number one pick. I don't know how we wouldn't be to the Cincinnati Bengals. Joey Burrow. Although I don't know. I guess he's going by Joey Burrow now.
I don't know.
He's always been Joe Burrow. But Joey Burrow on his Twitter. So he had the smallest hands of the quarterback that I saw in the top 10 listed, which was 9 inches. I don't even know.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Most of the other ones were in double digits. Whatever that means. He had like the best season of a quarterback in a long time, yada, yada. But he goes, this is a tweet from him yesterday after that. Considering retirement after I was informed the football will be slipping out of my tiny hands, please keep me in your thoughts. A great tweet.
Yeah.
A guy, he knows people are going to be talking about it. He gets in front of it, makes it funny. He got ridiculous amounts of engagement on it. This tweet, so it was not even 24 hours ago, 37,000 retweets, 315 likes, 315,000 likes. Great tweet.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to follow and see what goes on. There'll be somebody who runs a crazy 40 who's going to jump up the boards because of that. Yeah. But as you know, we've talked to a handful of guys that are at the combine right now.
Uh-huh.
So depending on how they do may depend on what we do. If we, like one guy, I don't know if I talked about this on here last time. One guy's he's as high as early teens for an NFL draft pick. Now, if he goes out and runs a slow 40, which is all he's doing this week, by the way. I didn't tell you that, I don't think.
Yeah, you did.
Did I? Okay. Mm-hmm. So if all he's doing is running 40, if he runs a slow 40, he's going to become a late first rounder. He also may be disappointed and not be as pumped to do some video content.
Yep.
So that could hurt. There's another guy that I was just DMing with yesterday, and he said, let's talk after the combine. So there could be some things shifting on our end depending on how people do.
Yeah.
So I'll keep an eye on that.
What are you looking for?
Hey, by the way,
which combine event is your fave? Is it the
40?
The measuring the hands?
The 40, yeah. The 40 is the only thing I think is interesting to watch.
Me too. I do like some of the drills, though.
You're interrupting my thing.
Whatever.
Here, bro. I'm trying to fucking talk.
Fuck.
I know you don't.
I do like the drills.
My business and BS hoodie is what I'm trying to do.
Oh, that could have waited.
I know, but I just got reminded because Dad texted me.
Oh, okay.
So that's what reminded me of it. I meant to bring it up at the beginning. Merch drop coming. Never, probably.
Yeah.
My dad got me this for my birthday.
Yeah.
So there's business and BS. Go back to what you were saying now.
No, I was done.
You were done.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite event?
I just said if you were listening.
I wasn't, because I started to talk about the hoodie.
40, but I also like the drills. Some of the drills are pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, the drills are cool.
And they make them get after it a little bit.
Yeah. I would. We don't really know what goes on behind the scenes there.
No,
I would have liked to seen some guys do some, and maybe there are some there. Yeah. There probably are not.
Like I'm sitting in this classroom, and then here's what they're telling me, and then they go to this.
Yes.
Then they measured my hands, and then I get interviewed for measuring my hands. Like, oh fuck, I got 9-inch hands.
Like, who cares? Why does anyone care about my hands? I've caught every ball that's ever been thrown to me.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to. We talked to a couple of guys about doing video around this even.
Yeah.
But
you know what we should have on the podcast? We should have planned it this week. Remember we went and met with that guy in DC who was changing the Wonderlic testing.
Yeah.
I don't remember his exact name for it, but some of the teams were adopting it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that's the only time I've been to DC.
Yeah, that we should. I wonder what he's doing these days.
I don't know, but we're not going to FaceTime podcast.
Why not? Sup, bro?
I don't like doing that.
Sup, bro?
I want
Tell us how it is.
Podcast.
Yeah, I just like the science behind what the Wonderlic test and why he changed it and what the benefit was.
Even if it's he might not be doing that anymore.
He might not be. Last time I talked to him, actually his daughter goes to USC.
Oh, really?
Son graduated Edinburgh. Remember we hooked him up with that intro?
No.
Yeah.
At Edinburgh?
Not Edinburgh. Oberlin. Son went to Oberlin.
Mm. I do remember that now.
Yeah.
Okay. I was coaching at Oberlin.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't coaching then. I had just probably been done for 2 years. Oberlin football. Go Yeoman.
Mm-hmm.
What else, Timmy? Anything?
Nope.
All right, let's get some shit done. Have some lunch. Oh, by the way, ourcitycoffee.com. Use the code BS. Get 15% off. We've got some new things coming. Some new big things coming, too. We'll probably talk about very soon. Timmy, I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Again, use our code BS at ourcitycoffee.com. You'll get 15% off any and all coffee orders. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to drink all that sugar shit at that corner coffee shop. Get some real good quality coffee. Step your game up. Again, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.